I visited Louisville, Kentucky on June 26th and 27th, 2021. Just for the record, I didn't see any cousins kissing each other and I didn't see anyone with missing teeth. Nonetheless, I split up the city and Jefferson County into 13 sections where I'll be able to show the entire city within a series of just over a dozen videos. In this series of videos, you'll see all of the good and all of the bad. So why not share a fifth of bourbon with your best bud or gal and come along to see the entire city of Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, it's Chris here. This is my 10th video on Louisville. I'm going to be in the area of Newburg, Linview, and areas surrounding it. Actually, this is my 9th video on Louisville, not my 10th, but anyway, this section of Louisville highlights that the Louisville metro area is a place that relies heavily on manufacturing. Not only do we go by some big industrial areas of the city, but we also go through a lot of blue-collar neighborhoods. Some of them are starting to be affected by higher crime rates, which means that people will be more likely to move out of this area as time goes on if the high crime rates continue. That also means that home values here will go down even more as time goes on, but we'll talk about all of that throughout the rest of this video. I begin the video, going backwards, in the abandoned Edgewood neighborhood of Louisville. It seems rather eerie while driving through. You know, it's full of illegal dumping sites, and it appears that there are even a few homeless folks that have set up camp back here. The reason why this neighborhood is vacant now is because Louisville's becoming the next Detroit. It's sad. Everybody knows it, and everybody's showing it by leaving neighborhoods like this one.
Nobody thinks that Louisville's becoming the next Detroit. Where did you even get that from?
Hold on, my guy, it was a joke.
Well, it was a bad joke. That wasn't funny.
Yeah, to you it wasn't, obviously. Well, anyway, moving on now. The real reason why this neighborhood is abandoned is because it's bordered by the Louisville International Airport to the west. Directly to the west of the neighborhood is Interstate 65, and immediately on the other side is the airport. Satellite photos of the area from the website historicalaerials.com show that this neighborhood was full of homes in the 1980s. I can't show those satellite photos on this video due to potential copyright claims that could be made, but it was around the 1980s when the city started to plan on buying out all the homes due to its close proximity to the airport. One of the main runways at the airport forces airplanes to take off and land directly above this plot of land, and it's actually more common than you think to see older neighborhoods get bought out by cities that are in close proximity to these larger airports, and it's all due to noise pollution. However, in 1996, a voluntary buyout plan that was ran by the city was put in place, and today, the neighborhood looks like this.
I'm still upset by what you said, you know.
Okay, well, good luck with that, cause I don't got time for your feelings. If you do enjoy this video, unlike this guy, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the evil monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like what you see here can be found in my Louisville playlist or in my Kentucky playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. This area really isn't all that big. It only spans about 3 blocks east to west, and it's about twice as long north to south. At the very southern end of this vacant area, though, is a UPS facility which brings jobs, so at least there's that. It's actually kind of weird that this abandoned area is open to the public and you can just drive through like this. I did see some gates at the point where I entered this neighborhood, so maybe sometimes it is closed off to the public and at other times it's left open. Who knows? On a more positive note, at least you have a Waffle House nearby. That always makes things better. Well, maybe not always. I mean, I gave it a try because after driving through that mess, I had to stop by and try to soak up all of my sorrows with some waffles and chicken, but didn't cut it for me. So next I headed towards the Louisville Downs racetrack and tried my hand at some gambling since there wasn't anything else to do around here but shop at Walmart, and honestly, I'm kind of sick of doing that. So Louisville Downs it was. To the right is Louisville Male Traditional High School. Despite the name, it's a co-ed school, home of the Bulldogs. Among the most notable alumni is former NFL quarterback Chris Redman, late journalist Hunter S. Thompson, late actor Warren Oates, former NBA player Darrell Griffith, and former Commander-in-Chief of the Military Airlift Command, General James R. Allen. A lot of formers on that list of alumni for Louisville Male and not that many currents. And here we are at the Louisville Downs racetrack, which is the other racetrack in Louisville. The track opened in 1966, and it was at this track, not at Churchill Downs, where wagering by phone first took place at a horse racing track, which was a system that was called Call-A-Bet, and it was implemented in 1981. In 1991, Louisville Downs was purchased by Churchill Downs Incorporated, and Derby City Gaming operates here today. They don't call it the Derby City for nothing, folks. Come on now. I tried going inside to gamble away my sorrows, but they didn't allow anyone inside that wasn't wearing a flannel shirt and boots. Plus, you had to have a can of chewing tobacco in your jeans pocket to show that you supported the local Kentucky economy. Weird.
I don't appreciate your comments, and I think that was pretty rude. I've gambled at Derby City Gaming for years, and that's a bunch of bull. They'll let anyone in as long as you don't start a fight. Don't listen to this guy.
Okay, obviously I was joking. Jeez, people. Well, I guess these days in 2021 you have to say you're joking every time so that people like this guy don't try to twist your words around to make you look like some kind of a-hole.
Wow, you know what? That wasn't necessary either.
Well, what can I say? Am I allowed to say anything anymore?
No.
You know what? I actually think you're the one that's being rude, so I'm gonna put you on mute. Because I have that power, and you can't do anything about it, so see ya.
You forgot to put me on mute. I'm still here.
Oh, really? Oh, well, let me see here. All right, there, I think you're gone now. Yep. In all honesty, this doesn't seem like a bad place to go hang out a few times if you're living in Louisville or even just visiting the place. I mean, gambling at a historic horse racing track? You have to admit that that has a cool vibe to it, and since it's Kentucky, you know that they would have a nice selection at the bar. Now we're heading south on Poplar Level Road from the main entrance to the historic track, but not for long because here we turn east through an industrial area of the city. In this part, there's a lot of warehouses that support manufacturing jobs. You have some junkyards back here, some scrap metal facilities, and too many other types of places to mention. If you've seen my other Louisville videos, you've heard me say at one point or another that in 2003, Louisville annexed all of the unincorporated land within Jefferson County. However, there are still a little bit over 80 different municipalities in Jefferson County that remained independent, and many of them have less than 1,000 people. Watterson Park is one of those independent municipalities that is really tiny, as it's home to only 900 people or so, and it's more industrial than it is residential. Technically, it's home to the headquarters of Yum Brands, which is the parent company of KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and a few other restaurant chains, even though most people just associate it with Louisville. But since I didn't drive by the headquarters building in this video, here is a Google Street View screenshot of the building off of Gardner Lane. Oh, and another good thing about this place is that if the other Waffle House nearby ran out of chicken and waffles, you have this one sitting right here too. Yeah, cool, neat. Now we're in another home rule class city. This time it's West Buechel. It's mostly a lower middle class residential area like all of the other neighborhoods in this part of Louisville. The municipality is home to around 1,300 residents or so, and there's not much else to say about it. Both West Buechel and Watterson Park are a part of the larger 40218 zip code. You can see West Buechel, Watterson Park, and the zip code all right here. The zip code is home to 33,600 people, and the median household income is just under $47,000 per year. 25% of adults 25 and older hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median value of owner-occupied housing units is $135,000. The poverty rate is pretty high, as it's just under 17%. This neighborhood of Louisville is the Bonaire Neighborhood, and statistically speaking, it might be the nicest neighborhood that I go through in this video, which means that the home values here are the highest and crime is the lowest. This is Seneca High School, home of the Redhawks. First, I couldn't help but notice this old baseball field as I turned the corner, as it's overgrown with weeds. Not the best look. Among the most notable alumni is ABC News journalist Diane Sawyer and author ZZ Packard. Niche.com ranks Seneca High School as a C+, which seems to be the same ranking as many of the other Louisville high schools in the south and west parts of town. Unfortunately, during the week prior to this video being uploaded, there was a high school student that was arrested for stealing a car. Once authorities found him, they also found a stolen loaded gun in his backpack. Now, I'm not trying to scare anyone who's watching this video and is trying to learn about the area. It's not like that's a common occurrence here at Seneca High School, but crime has started to become an issue in the south parts of Louisville where we are. Not necessarily as bad as it is on the west end, but if things keep trending in the wrong direction, these south side neighborhoods of Louisville like Newburg, Okolona, and Bonaire might not look the same in future years. We're still in the Bonaire neighborhood here, and even though there's that unfortunate event about what happened at the high school, this neighborhood is still considered to be the safest out of all of the ones that I go through in this video. Remember that in this video I go through a section of the city that is bounded by the Watterson to the north, a combination of Hurstbourne Parkway and Bardstown Road to the east, the city limits to the south, and I-65 to the west. There's actually some really nice areas of Louisville not that far northwest of here on the other side of the Watterson. This is the Klondike Neighborhood, which is home to around 6,000 residents. It's a neighborhood that isn't much different than the other places that we've been in this video. The Louisville crime map shows that there's a little bit more crime here than in the Bonaire neighborhood, with several vehicle break-ins reported. And we'll skip ahead just a little bit till we get out to the main thoroughfare.
Close your eyes.
Towards the beginning of this video, we went through a city that was called West Buechel, and here is Buechel, which today is a part of the Louisville city limits. From here, I skip the video ahead to what is known as Appliance Park, which is owned by GE Appliances and is one of Louisville's larger employers. This is also the location of the company's headquarters. There are just over 7,000 workers at this 750-acre facility, and here they make dishwashers, freezers, and refrigerators at this plant. In 1951, construction began on this massive building, and the brand was originally owned by General Electric. Altogether, there are 5 different manufacturing plants here. In 2015, a massive fire supposedly broke out at Appliance Park. It completely destroyed Building 6, which was mostly used for storage. It took more than 200 firefighters to battle the fire that blacked out parts of the sky for some of the neighborhoods behind the complex. Here we're on the southern entrance to Appliance Park, and now we head west towards Newburg. And here we have made it to Newburg. This area that we're in is almost always referred to as Newburg, even though it's a part of the Louisville city limits. Until 2003, this area didn't belong to Louisville, and it was considered to be its own census-designated place. In recent years, there's been an increase in both the violent and property crimes in this area. It might not look like it, but you'll see the occasional news headline once a month of a shooting that took place in Newburg. It also doesn't help that there's a high poverty rate in Newburg and a low median household income. Today, about 25,000 people live here, and the median household income is $41,000 per year. Only 18% of adults 25 and older hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median value of owner-occupied housing units is $133,000. The poverty rate is nearly double the national average rate, as it's at 26%. Next, we head towards the Jefferson Mall. This is the Jefferson Mall, which seems to be doing okay, but it's not as popular as other malls in Louisville, such as Oxmoor Center and Mall St. Matthews, which happen to be right next to each other on the east side. Sometimes it can feel like the only nice places in Louisville are on the east side. The only other popular shopping area in the Louisville metro area is in Clarksville, which is in Indiana. Back to the Jefferson Mall, apparently there was a shooting right outside of the mall back in August of this year, which just goes along with what I've mentioned about this part of Louisville throughout this video. And here's a better view of the Jefferson Mall. Yeah, that's not supposed to be a furniture and mattress store, I can tell you that. That used to be one of the anchor stores of the mall for sure. We are now in an area that is known as Okolona. Just like with Newburg, the city of Louisville annexed Okolona in 2003 as it was only a census-designated place and not an incorporated municipality. Also, just like with Newburg, nobody here thinks of it as being Louisville, but more so as Okolona. There's even a sign here letting everybody know. Okolona is home to just under 19,000 residents, and the median household income is $53,000 per year. Only 5% of adults 25 and older hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median value of owner-occupied housing units is $171,000. The poverty rate is 6%, making the Okolona neighborhood one of the better areas from an economic standpoint in the south side of Louisville. Both the Newburg and Okolona neighborhoods make up the majority of the 40219 zip code, and you can see it here on the map. The zip code is home to about 40,000 residents, and the median household income is $48,000 per year. Only 18% of the residents hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median value of owner-occupied housing units is $133,000. The poverty rate is lower than I thought it would be, as it's listed at 13%. To the right, in the midst of all of this strip mall mess, is Southern High School, home of the Trojans. Among the most notable alumni is current sportscaster and two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback Phil Simms and current tight end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Deion Yelder. Niche.com ranks the high school as a C, which is an even lower ranking than the other high schools that we've seen on the far southern parts of Louisville. Usually they're rated as a C+, but once again it shows you that if you want all of the nice things that the Louisville area has to offer, or the best of the best, then you better head out towards the east side. And for the rest of this video, most of what I'm going to head through is going to look like a rural area, and it shouldn't be a part of the Louisville city limits, but it's here for you if you want to see it. To the left is Marion C. Moore School, which is a combined middle school and high school. The athletic teams go by the Mustangs. Just like with Southern High School, Niche.com gives Marion C. Moore a C ranking, so it could be better. And our last high school to see for this video is to the left, which is Fern Creek High School, home of the Tigers. Among the most notable alumni is former University of Louisville president James Ramsey. Niche.com ranks Fern Creek as a B-, which makes it look like a Yale prep program when compared to Seneca, Southern High School, or Marion C. Moore School. Nonetheless, I do end the video here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the evil monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like what you saw here can be found in my Louisville playlist or in my Kentucky playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. We'll see you next time. Peace!